All right, what's going on? Today we're playing some more jazz. I've had a lot of fun with these two so far, and even though I'm only two in, I feel like I've learned a lot. I feel like I'm dusting off something that I had just a little bit of, and it feels good to actually be able to do this thing. So if you're new here, normally I play more of a rock style genre. Feel free to check out any of the music that I've put out. It's all similar enough that you can kind of tell that I tend to gravitate toward the more rock side of things. But we've got the real book right here, we've got it opened up, and we're learning how to not only play jazz, but we're learning how to read a lead sheet. Now, just to be clear here, this is mostly about breadth, not depth. Or how this is going to go is I'm going to read through the chords, play them a couple times, make sure I have them down reasonably and that I can read through them. And then I am going to fight my way through the melody. I'm going to struggle through it, but I'm going to do the same sort of thing where I read through it, play through it a couple times, make sure I've got it down. And I'm going in blind, just to be clear. I'm not listening to it first. I'm just going in and learning it. And like I said, the point here is breadth. So I'd like to learn a lot of jazz standards, and I'd like to improve my ability at being able to pick up a song based on a lead sheet. If I wanted to get really good at a song, the thing to do would be to practice it, to spend a lot of time on it. Let me know in the comments if that's what you want to hear. If you want me to spend some more time on any particular song, really refining it, maybe learning how to put the chords and the melody together into like one cohesive piece. But for now, we're just going to open it up to a random song, or randomish. I may veto things based on like key signature and things like that. I don't want to have to keep track of like, 5 sharps or something like that. And we're going to learn it. So here we go. Okay, so today I am learning E.S.P by Wayne Shorter. The key signature tells us this might be in C, but I say might be because the chords don't really tell that story, at least not off the bat. I see an F major 7, but I don't see a C anywhere in here. Maybe it'll gravitate more towards an A minor. The first note's a C though, so I guess we'll see how this feels. Now it says fast swing. I'm gonna start off slow. We'll see if I go any faster here. Okay, E.S.P. So we've got an E7 sharp 9. Okay, so our first chord here is an E7 sharp 5 with a sharp 9. So we've got our E here, we've got our 7, and then our sharp 5, I'm going to put it here. It could be here, but I think where this is taking us is that we've got our E7, sharp 5, and then our sharp 9 is basically like a major third. And that gives us this chord, which is like a C9. So I think our E7 sharp 5 sharp 9 is this song's version of our tonic, our C. Okay, so we've got another weird one. We've got an E flat major 7 with a sharp 11. So here's our E flat major 7. And then our sharp 11 is basically like a sharp 4. And there's a couple of places that would make sense within this. The first one is this A, which takes us from here to here, which kind of makes sense. I feel like it might make sense to put the 11 higher because like the 11 would kind of sit above the rest of them. But I'm not really finding a spot that makes a lot of sense. Here's one, which is like, that's not bad. But for now, for the sake of like fitting it into my hand, I'm gonna use this one. And like for the sake of context, our chords are so I think it fits. This is a weird one. I think I've pretty much got it through, but there's some weird chords, and it's still, even playing it through, it feels weird as to like where it's going. I'm hoping the melody will help make more sense to it, but like I'm kind of following a through line, but it just goes some weird places. It's basically just like two verses. It's got a first ending and a second ending, and the first ending definitely feels like it takes you back. The second ending feels a little bit weirder, and I think it's from this D flat 7 sharp 11. I'm playing it like this. So we've got our D flat, our sharp 11, our 7, and our major to the D, our third. Maybe that's just a weird voicing, but we go F sharp major 7 to E flat major 7 to that, to G minor 7, to D flat minor 7, to G flat 7, to F major 7, and then our final chord is an E7 sharp 9. So, I don't know. We'll see if the melody brings it together, but that's the chords. There's a lot of like ties here. So like this first one is an eighth note tied into a dotted quarter note, which I think is just 2 beats. Maybe it's notated like that because the eighth note is the and of 2. And so it's like kind of trying to keep track of your counting there for you. But it's like it's effectively a half note. But there's a lot of ties across measures, which makes me think this is probably a vocal melody, because I just feel like a lot of times vocal like voices will like sing like into the measure, starting like just before. Not really a lead-in note, but like just I don't know, it just seems like a vocal melody quality thing to do. So I have to kind of keep that in mind as I figure this out. But these ties kind of make it tricky in terms of my counting and figuring out the rhythm here. You know, the other thing that makes me think this is probably a vocal melody is kind of the simplicity of it. I'm still figuring out the rhythm here, but almost 2 full lines in, it's just 3 notes, it's just, and that's it. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean the simplicity is a bad thing. That can work really well, especially with vocal melodies, especially like making it singable. It's just something I'm noticing. Typically one strategy in trying to figure out a melody, especially when there's like accidentals and things like that, or like pieces that, or intervals that don't make sense, is to play the chords and then kind of hear those in the context of the melody that I'm playing to see if it makes sense, and just to understand it better. And I gotta say, it's kind of hit and miss in this song. Now I am overall hearing the melody going through it, and kind of where it's going with the chords. And I think it's going to come together well. I mean, it's a jazz standard in the real book, so like it can't be that bad, right? In fact, it's probably going to be really nice. Like I'm having to slow it down quite a bit for myself from what I would envision as fast swing, in order to just follow the notes, because of the rhythm of the melody is just very like kind of jumpy, and that like it usually comes in on like an eighth note before what might make sense. And it does make sense, again, kind of as a vocal melody, but it just makes it hard to go in blind from. I mean, typically I would go and listen to it and see, how is this supposed to sound? Does this all make sense together? What's the context like? And I can learn it from there. But that's not what we're doing here. I'm trying to learn off a lead sheet, so that's what we're doing. We'll see if we can put something together. Well, another one has come and gone. It's really interesting now that I'm a few in, seeing kind of the differences between these and just how much variety there probably will end up being within this book. It's also a lot of fun going in blind to them, knowing that I'm able to pull this music off of a sheet of paper and see how it comes out. It's especially interesting listening back to the recording afterwards, and seeing how close or how far my interpretation to the recording is. Like with Black Coffee, as soon as I uploaded that to YouTube, it got copyright claimed immediately, which is fine. I'm not monetized. It's whatever. This one I haven't uploaded yet, so I don't know if that'll happen, but I have a feeling that it won't. Whenever I went back and listened to the recording, it's by Miles Davis, and the paper says fast swing. And so my interpretation was something closer to like Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely? Kind of that upbeat kind of pop sound. And it turns out the Miles Davis version is it's kind of what you would typically, or like stereotypically more think of as like jazz music. Like it's really fast and it's probably more of an acquired taste, but it definitely felt a lot more all over the place, which this song kind of felt that way anyway. Like as I was reading through it, it kind of felt all over the place. And even whenever I put it together, it still felt weird in a lot of places. I will say this one was interesting because comparing to Big Nick's chords were really basic. It was a lot of like seventh chords, and it pretty well stayed in key, pretty well stayed like pretty predictable in what you would expect. And then the melody was more like chromatic, and had like bigger jumps and intervals, kind of more like ba-da. And so like the melody was kind of the more, I don't know, interesting piece. Whereas with this song, the melody didn't really have a lot of accidentals. The notes felt pretty simple, which is great. There's nothing wrong with simple, which by the way, it did not end up being a vocal melody. But by contrast, it was the chords that felt a lot more chromatic and all over the place on this one. Like the progressions definitely felt like they were taking small steps down and small steps up. Hey, if you made it this far, thank you so much. That's really cool of you. Every view, every like, every subscribe means a lot. Leave a comment, say hey. Let me know if you have a favorite jazz standard or if there's one that you'd like to see me learn. But that'll about wrap it up. I will see you next time.